ya, boy! Reminds me of System of the Down. Yeah! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Reminds me of System of a Down. Anyways, cool to see you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you're alive. Let's go. Got you looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Check out this Supreme. I'm living low next to the bass. Turn up the radio. Wayne is today. Did I not switch the son of a? I'll switch it later. Anyways, sorry. I'm just not sleeping enough. I was uploading yesterday's video to the swing trading group, and I accidentally deleted half the course of the day trading course. Like, did I just delete the day trading course? So now I gotta go back. I was just too tired, so I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So anyways, good to see you, everybody. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never, ever, 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 ever risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne. Nice to meet you. I'm a currency trader just like you. I've been through many crises in the past, survived and thrived, and so I'm here to help you survive and thrive as well. These are crazy times, they're complicated times, but actually, if you focus on your fundamentals and your technicals, it ain't no big thing. All right, so make sure you have a plan and everything should go accordingly, or you don't get a trade and you survive. So anyways, I will teach you everything I know. That's the whole goal. Technical and fundamental analysis, trader psychology, everything is open. We can talk about it. Make sure you ask questions. I call it participation. Okay, so ask questions, get involved, but please treat your fellow currency traders with dignity and respect. If you got some negativity, check it at the door. If you're a spammer, jump off a bridge. But otherwise, let's roll up our sleeves, get to work, align our satellites as a community of 12,000 Forex traders around the world, and support each other through these interesting economic and market times. So right now we're trading the market more than we're trading the economy. The economy is just starting to get slapped. So today we're going to see oil inventories. Tomorrow we're going to see jobless claims. So we're just going to see the first red flags of the virus hitting the U.S. economy, but we may already be done the market side. Okay. Yeah, do you remember talking about Delta Airlines 3 days ago? Well, it's up 25% since 3 days ago. That's the difference between the market and the economy. Okay, that's a pretty good year for most people, 24, 25%. Should have thrown it down, bro. So anyways, here we are. This is just where we left off, I guess, from the swing trading group. Just to remind you, I started an emergency live trading group, an emergency support group, to make sure you guys are not going through these interesting times alone. I don't want you to feel vulnerable. I don't want you to slip back into your old habits. So I started an emergency group, swing.fxbootcamp.com. We meet twice a day. So yesterday we did this, what you're looking at here was trade planning going into the new trading day. So we were front running the London boys. Oh, my drawing tool is down here. So this is just where we left off in the Asian session. Okay. One of the things you might see here is we have up bullish trade plans. We were here at the time. Okay. So you can see we've drawn a role reversal. We have our buying zone. And the idea that around this point, we knew within 5 hours we would be long. And it took maybe 3 hours, 2 hours. Okay. And already, so it went from 1950 to 20 something 50, so 100 plus pips. Nice. How nice is that? By the way, the extra 40 hours, the day trading course and the swing trading course included in that group, no extra charge. It's the same fees that applied 6 months ago, 9 months ago, except I've added 40 hours a month of live courses and or live meetings, and I didn't jack up the fee, I didn't change anything. So swing.fxbootcamp.com if you want to get involved. Our next meeting is in 3 hours for the London close. Okay. Cool. So it's a support group. All right. So anyways, we got a lot of up going on in the world. Here's Kiwi yen. Zoom in on this one. This is the interesting one because a lot of these we had where if it was going to drop, it had to drop. If it was going to break, it's going to break. You know, sort of these 50-50 rules. You can see we posted a bottom with a nice higher low following up for the, you know, the few days after. And then we can look at what we planned yesterday in the Asian session. So the swing trading group, we were here. And we said within 5 hours, we'd probably be long somewhere around here. Here's a roll reversal. And so you'd be a buyer around 64.50. And we made it to 66. So again, 100 plus pips. Okay. Now, the standard operating procedure for a day trader, these are only day trades. These are not swing trades. These are just stupid, boring little day trades. And the standard operating procedure is a 33 stop and a 99 limit. And so like these two examples, you hit your 99s. Okay? Yes, HH. Okay? So these two are, if you were bulls, you got your 99s. Done. And then you skip the whole pullback idea. Okay? Now the beast didn't give you what you wanted. Notice that we didn't even quite hit the target. So everything's a little off here. So this one took off too fast, right? It came down, kicked off the moving averages, but did not give us the price we were looking at. Okay, the idea would be to long it at 130. Sorry, bro, it stopped at 130.50. Sorry. Okay, and the funny thing is, it didn't pull back enough, and it didn't quite hit the target. So if you're not on that one, don't blame yourself. Okay, now here's Aussie. We can take a look at this. Like one of the things we talked about is how to analyze maybe when it's not a good opportunity, depending on your bias. And so this one is set up for a bear. And you can see like in the past, there are obviously bearish setups here, but you see how we have, this is a little higher, this is slightly higher, this is slightly higher. These are all sell zones, but we talked a lot about how to maybe walk away from mediocrity. And you'll see that even though these are technically sell zones, it's not a bearish trend. So I recommend you pass. Take a walk, son. Okay. Now, if you were not a bear, if you were a bull instead, risk on, it may look different to you. So let me zoom in again. And, right, you can see buy, and it hasn't even come back. Maybe a buy here. You know, It's moving so fast it barely even gives you pullbacks. Okay, you can see medium-term trend is currently set here. Shorter time frame trend is set here, and you can see according to this type of analysis, the trend is speeding up. Cool, right? I know, right? Cool. Go to look at some maybe, let's just go to the standard operating procedure. Let's do some gold. Let's do some Bitcoin. Or we'll start with Eurodollar. Okay, thank you. A couple of things here. If you're a bear, this is your sell zone for the week. So if you're a bear, which means you're either selling dollars, or sorry, selling euros or buying dollars, you're actually looking for your second chance now, which is a lower high. Okay? Bulls already bought way down here. So if you're not on that, you're not doing it right. Okay? And I don't think this is a good opportunity to rebuy at a second one. This is more of an opportunity for bears to prove their point here, okay? So that's the big drop, the lower high, and then down here, okay? So bulls really just have to pray that the bears wimp out here, okay? So, right, like if you bought here as a bull, you're not buying a higher low. You're buying I don't know, not a higher low. So bulls want this, right? So if you bought in here on the 50% retracement, that's a good trade. This is what it looks like, okay? But I wouldn't add to that anymore. I would leave my risk minimal until I started getting higher highs. Does that make sense? Like there's no sense to add more risk. You're either right or you're wrong. You already placed your trades. This is a very obvious entry. Because remember, this is a buying zone on a weekly basis, right? I don't have it set on the chart, but you should know that, right? This is a buy zone. So if you were a bull, you already bought the double bottom higher low here. That's sort of yesterday's trade, right? So you got to let it run before you start adding new ones. Okay? So if I'm showing you right now, it's set up for the higher. Oops, come on, drawing tool. If it's currently set up for this, doesn't mean I'm a bear. It means that's just a bearish setup. Okay. And which would be not a good time to buy if you're a bull, right? You should have bought the low, right? I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? The double bottom, higher high, higher low. I mean, hello, right? So that's what's occurred here. Double bottom, okay? And in fact, all of these are interesting little doodads. Remember to always think twice. Her name was Billie Jean. As she crossed the scene, heads turned and eyes dreamed of being the one to dance on the floor in a round. Okay, we did this already, so why is this not Bitcoin? Something got moved around. Bitcoin's up there today. Thank you. Whatever. I don't blame MT4. I always blame Windows. I don't know how the heck that happened. All right. Okay. We're still in there, but we're not behaving, right? We're not behaving. This was sort of the plan B for bears. Okay. If this holds up, then that's going to be, what, a sign of risk on, you think? Yeah. Well, just make sure that when you take shots like that, it's worth the risk. So, yeah, I don't see anything more to add to this. It's not, if you're looking at the sell zones, it's still stepping up, not stepping down. But this is the resistance. So nothing's changed in the last few days. It's still the resistance. It's a little high, but this isn't necessarily as technical, or I don't know. But I think you can still treat this as a double top. If it goes above 7, then, this whole idea is dead. Okay. And that means probably risk on. Okay. Hey, what do you think of that 750 billion euro stimulus package from the Eurozone? So typical, isn't it? So let's say Europe has 50 million people more than the United States. Pretty significant, 50 million. The United States drops 2 trillion, and Europe drops 3/4 of 1 trillion. Like less than half, like 40% of the response that the Americans had. You're like, come on, dude. Seriously? Here we go. We're going to go through what we went through last time. Like, you would think that the Europeans would have learned from the last response of the last financial crisis, where they did virtually nothing for a year or two, and then they jacked up taxes and cut spending and crashed all their economies. And then they're like, hey, wait, why do we have 20% unemployment? And why are interest rates like 20%? Because no one wants to lend you money, right? So, like, took 10 years and still never got out. And so, boom, now we're back into another financial crisis. And they're like, well, the Americans dropped 2 trillion. So why don't we drop 750 billion? You're like, what? Let's go, man. Come on, Jose. Come on, Jacques. Hans, let's go, Hans. Let me see you stimulate. Come on, Baba. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, calm down there, Daniel. Hate. There's no hate in this room. How could you hate living in Europe if you're rich? Already did pound yen. It's all right. Maybe we'll come back to it later. All right. Here's a swing trade we did. This was a high risk one yesterday. Not swing trade, sorry, day trade. We did this yesterday in the day trading group. And it was an example trade. And it was funny at the end. We were talking about things and I realized, oh, snap! I'm in the trade and I was making money. So it's kind of funny. We were just talking about, there was a plan A and a plan B, and honestly, I don't remember what it was. But, I accidentally made money. That's how it goes sometimes. So I think what we were doing here, there was this too far question or comment by somebody. Okay? We talked a lot about that, keeping the mindset, keeping the focus, even keeping opinion away. Okay? You understand? Like, I forget the comment. It was something like, like it might be going, or it seems like it could be too overbought, or something like that. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. We really should keep that away. That idea, like your hypotheses is your hypotheses, but then your technical analysis is solid. There is no hypotheses. There is not. You do or you do not. Okay? It's either bearish or it's bullish. That's done. So you might say, well, it might be overbought, and then it would come down and say, okay, well, in that scenario, you would wait technically to confirm that and then trade it. And so we were talking about like this, this, and this. And if that's what you felt, well, then a lower high, lower low, and all that kind of stuff. But selling into a 4H buy a zone here is not cool because, as you should probably know, this is a buy zone and this is dynamic support. This is dynamic support. So typically, like if this was, if I designed this differently, this you would look at this as being slightly more bullish than bearish, but we can see the vulnerability. So then I broke it down. Now, if you were to try to front run this inevitable break, we would do it on different time frames and such, right? So I think we dropped into something like this, and then we saw that, and then maybe I dropped it in like this, and so we had a bearish that, and we put it all together. Yeah, so we would have been here. And apparently I threw down a trade. I guess someone said, how do you enter this? Because I don't trade at London Open anymore. I never felt, it was always difficult in my life. It was always difficult. In the beginning, though, I traded from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. So I've done my time. That's what I used to do when I lived in California. But that's really difficult to have a lifestyle, you know. So this and this was the down, up, and that's sort of the mini Asia fade. And it looks like I took it, and at one point, let's see, I'm short at 44.50, actually a little higher than that, but let's call it 44.50, and it dropped to 43.50. So again, if I had thrown down the 33.99 OCO, this would be the third one where I nailed my 99. Boom! Now, that's another risk-on move. So notice all you have to do is get your bias right. If you didn't get your bias right, you'll see that there's not a lot of trades or there's small losses. Okay, you can recover from 2 or 3 33 losses, right? Yeah, somebody said they were getting a message from Zoom that we hadn't started yet. So I need to confirm that you're logging in to swing.fxbootcamp.com. Because we had, I don't know, 30 people? We had 30 members in the room last night setting all these trades up. So I'll double check today. I'll probably create a new room and just set it all up new and differently. I also added the times under the login button. I've added the times that we're going to meet and stuff. So, well, what can I say, David? I don't know what happened. 30 other people logged in, no problem. So I'm just going to reset the room, add an all new code, and start with a clean slate. Do you agree that that's the right move? Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, Roger, we'll look at that. Okay. La 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 la. What should I do? Let's just move on. Let's look at the yens. Cool. So here's our day trade yesterday. This one gone as well. Kiwi gone. Okay, this one almost, right? So that's a day trading setup. Now let's look at a bigger setup. Yeah, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Durable goods 1.2. I don't really care, but thank you. Market's just not, doesn't care. Wayne, I know I am kind of front running, but did you look at? Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and I made a comment yesterday. And it was funny because, I work so much. I don't see anyone in my family. My kids are making jokes now because I'm working so much on trading. I trade so much, and when I'm not trading, I'm doing school, right? Now there's jokes inside the house about it, and I'm like, what? Like, you should look at me as being, I should be a martyr here. Like, I'm right. But anyway, so an example of maybe where the animosity is coming from. My wife comes in. I haven't seen her for like days. She comes into the office and she's like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I look at my charts behind me and I'm like, "Oh my God, look at that lira!" Right? "Oh my God, look at the lira!" She's like, "Would you just focus on me for a second?" I'm like, "That's a major risk on." So, anyways, she's like, "Focus on me. Just come on. Like, come on. Give me 30 seconds." No, she's sane, Sophie. She's sane. All right. Mm-mm-mm. So, anyways, let's take a look. We did pound. Oh, actually, we did all these. I guess let's do dollar pairs. Remember to always think twice. Yeah, Daniel, it's because they have higher interest rates. It's not the inflation, it's the interest rate. So you're looking at the way you're looking at it is what you're telling me, Daniel, and you got to be careful. This is a problem with statistics. You're telling me if you eat enough ice cream, the temperature outside will go up. Is that true? If you eat more and more and more and more ice cream, it'll get hotter and hotter and hotter outside. I mean, there's a direct correlation. The hotter it is outside, the more ice cream that sells. It's the ice cream that makes it hot, right? Interest rates. In my book, they're called money magnets. Okay? So turn to that chapter in the book, man. Okay. Cool. So let's let's go here with the pig dog, and let me throw this down. We'll start with Confluence just to see how distorted things like monthlies are. And look at this, just slaughtered. So I'm getting quite concerned about next month's pivots, next month's monthly pivots, and you'll see like right around this 116, it's telling you that should be the bottom. Now, the way I play this, whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant. The way I would play this if I was a bull, I would still need the double bottom. Okay. And that seems hard to believe, but these things happen. Okay. Does that make sense? So you got to have that thought process right away. If you are patient and if you are disciplined, Forex will reward you by coming back and giving you a second chance to get in. Those that are not patient and not disciplined and chase, they'll buy late, right? And they'll sell late and they'll lose money both ways. So you might as well just say, well, if I'm a bull, I'm going to buy down here because I like buying reversal patterns at support. right? And then even then you'll get a 1, 2, 3, right? Or if it doesn't do that, here's the cool thing: you don't trade. You trade only on your terms because you're the boss. Okay? Well, so here's the thing that people are just walking in and wanting to buy this because they're late. This is a sell zone for bears. So it's not that this is it's just like you're in a resistance zone. So just to wake up now and say, oh my God, it's been up for 4 days. I guess I should buy it now. Like, dude, where were you 4 days ago or 3 days ago or 2 days ago? You couldn't have had a plan then? I mean, look where we started the week. So a buyer should be here. So those that lack discipline and lack planning, they look at it and say, it's been up for 4 days. I guess I should buy it. What they don't understand is they're buying where other people are selling. Because the universal truth is bears are going to try to sell high and bulls are going to try to buy low. So that's why, like, people that are late, they always get punished, right? You always get punished when you're late. And the only reason you're late is you don't have a plan. And you don't have a plan because you don't have a bias. You don't know what you're doing. And so, like, what the heck? Of course that's not going to work. Okay? So at the very least, when you look at something and say, well, it's been up for 4 days, maybe I should be a bull now, then what should you do? Buy the next dip to support. Right? Now, in this case, what I'm reading into it is a bigger move like that. Okay? So that means maybe up this week, down next week, up, week 3, 4, and 5 from now. If you're a bull, that's your point of view. Okay? Now, check this out. Always back out and leave. Son of a. Where were we? Where were we? It was this one, wasn't it? Back yourself out and leave notes for yourself. Do you think this will be important? To a bear? What do you think? Predict the future. How realistic is something like that? That's why, like, after it's gone up for 4 days, an amateur logs in and says, well, it's been up for 4 days, I guess I should buy. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Where were you 4 days ago? Well, I didn't have a plan then. All right, well, chill out. Okay? So now it seems to me more bears are interested in selling now. Their plan B, by the way, is way the heck higher. This is the plan B. Okay, you see this? La 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 la. So plan A is this. La 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 la. Okay, for bears. Bearish plans. Okay, A and B. Okay, to say it differently, 121.50, let's say, or let's just say 121. The other one is way up there. What is it, 125? 125.50? We'll just say 125. Okay? It's a lot of patience, don't you think? Yeah, nice psych numbers. It's all good, right? Okay. Now, I would expand this slightly to make sure I catch 120. So this is, I'm going to put this here. And what you do is you pay attention to it on a much smaller time frame as you approach that 120. Okay? And you can see we basically already hit it already. So you need to decide. So here's 120 is up here. This is 119.75, right? So you're like, that's it. So now you need to make decisions here. Okay? Now we're on a 5-minute chart. You have to decide, is that people holding 120? Is that traders holding the psychological level of 120? Could be, right? They're defending it. So you can use that to your advantage if you already happen to be a bear. Listen to me. If you already happen to be a bear, if you want to buy some more dollars, if you want to sell off some pounds, the basis of your trade plan, if you had to explain it to another human being, is you're like, well, I think the pound should be weak. I think the dollar should be strong. I see the psychological level of 120 with technical resistance above it. So therefore, I'm looking for a lower high, right? Well, a drop off 120 to show me that other people are defending 120, and then I'm selling lower highs and lower lows like this. You guys see that? That's how you thread it down from a daily all the way down to a 5-minute. Okay? And so this is what you'd be doing sort of the rest of the day. Okay? You'd be doing sell, sell, sell. So now you're going to rely on things like price action. Another way of doing price action is Fibonacci. It's the same thing. And if you like both price action and Fibonacci, maybe you're going to do Elliott wave. It's all the same thing. Whatever, dude. Just do something. Like whatever you do something. By the way, is everyone here a subscriber? If you're new, please subscribe. We're pretty close to 12,000 subscribers now. It'd be nice to cross that threshold. Do you also get macro factors or only technicals on this pair? It's all macro, guys. Well, the thing is, flipping a coin is for a bias. So you're not trying to figure out what you're going to do today. You're not flipping a coin for today. You're flipping a coin for, let's say, the next quarter, the next 3 months, let's say. You're not flipping a coin daily, because if you do that, you're randomizing. We don't want random, we want consistent. Well, baby G, I told you a week ago you should start looking at stocks you want to buy. I've been discussing for the last week and a half the difference between the market and the economy. So you're going to have to read between the lines on all of those things. Okay? You understand? I'm not going to make a declaration in a public group with many people that barely understand what they're doing. And God forbid they do something like, well, Wayne told me to throw my life savings into the market. And dude, that ain't, you know what I mean? Like, that's not my job. That's not my role. I'm not your money manager. I'm not your counselor. I'm not your priest. I'm not your bartender. You know. Okay. Yeah, well, baby G's like, now it's about the timing. Of course. So, do your job. Okay? Right? So, like I said, just one of the examples of stocks that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks is Delta Airlines, right? And like I said, it's up 24% now. Just 24% since I've been talking about it. Cool. It used to be 60. You could have bought it at 22. Dude, you could have picked it up for a 66% discount. Otherwise, let's just call it a 618. You could have bought Delta Airlines at a 618 Fibonacci retracement. Do what you want to do. I think even Facebook is down 50%, right? Maybe you hate Facebook, but they have 1 billion people and lots of advertising. I mean, you don't have to like it. But at some point you gotta buy. So you gotta make your own decisions. And I know I'm not hitting on you that way, like Baby G. I'm not slapping you down. I'm just saying, like, I set the table and I light the candles, right? Well, the way I look at it, Hope, and this is how I explain it to my friends and explain it to even my family. Buy something you believe will be around 25 years from now. Because you can only buy what you know. And you're like, you believe Delta Airlines will still be an airline 25 years from now. You believe Starbucks will still be around. You know, you still believe Bank of America will be around. You still believe Ford Motors will still be making vehicles. Now, they might be making much different kinds of vehicles, but they might be making vehicles. Maybe they're not, right? Yeah, look at the FANG stocks. Have you looked at the FANG Plus stocks? Right? So you got Facebook and Apple, right? Netflix, Google. There's Disney in there, which is interesting. Disney is down 50%. You could have bought it a couple of days ago at 88. I don't know what it is now. But you can look at some pretty big household names that you may think will be around in the future. I don't know. We discussed how complicated maybe buying Carnival. Do you guys remember that? Carnival Cruises. We talked about how difficult that might be because A, all their boats are financed, and then B, the southern part of the planet's likely to get hammered in the future, right? So we talked about it at $8, guys. It's almost doubled since we talked about it. But there's risk built in. But the reason I was talking about this was that there's a difference between the market and the economy. It's almost doubled since we talked about it 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is why I do the wake-up call videos, right? This is why I do these extra meetings. This is why I don't know. I'm trying to get you to think and act. Okay? Am I reaching anybody? I'm trying. Okay? I'm trying. I'm trying. I am trying. Okay? Oh, you know what I forgot to play yesterday? I found the recording. Okay, I found the recording. So remind me today in the swing trading group. you got, it's the one where I'm in the penthouse at the Waldorf Astoria. I've been trading all night. I haven't slept for 36 hours. Uh, right? But it's great because I'm in this 5,000 square foot penthouse at the Waldorf Astoria in Midtown Manhattan. Um, and I'm going to bed. I'm so tired, I want to puke. I'm so tired, I can't even sleep. Literally, my eyes are all like I've been playing video games all day. No, I've been trading Forex for 20 hours straight. And I get this call, and I've been pushing off this Sky radio interview for weeks and weeks and weeks. And my publicist said, look, you have to do it right now or they're not going to do it. So I jump in the shower. I take an ice cold shower. I pound about 2 rock stars in the shower. I wake up. I'm slapping my face. Drink a couple of cups of espresso. And I pick up the phone and I do the interview. And I was so pissed off. This was like 2008 or something. I was so pissed off at professional money managers doing nothing as people lost 20 and 30 and 40 and 50% of their retirement account. Their net worth flushed down the toilet because this MBA didn't hedge, doesn't know how to use an option, doesn't know how to use a futures contract, just called their clients and said, it's just ride out the storm. Diversification, eh? Right out the storm, eh? Like, you're ridiculous. I pay you money to watch my net worth go down the toilet, right? So anyways, we're in that situation again where I'm saying this is a wake-up call. No one gives a crap about your retirement account except you and your family. And I'm not joking. I know money managers around me right now that are freaking out because they're losing $100 million of their clients' money and they don't know how to hedge. They don't know how to sell a futures contract. I'm like, you're kidding me. Let me show you how difficult it is. Sell. Look, done, hedged. Okay? So I'm in that pissed off mode again where I'm trying to wake you up. Like, not only are you supposed to be making money in the Forex market to offset your losses in your long-term retirement account, so you're hedging. But on the flip side of that, this is an awesome time to make money. Dude, since in the last 2 weeks, Carnival Cruises has doubled. Since yesterday, Delta Airlines is up 25%. These are all things we talked about specifically. So it's like, wake up, this is it. This is your time to shine. If you missed 2008, right? I feel sorry for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a pip ain't one, right? It's just like you might have missed 2008. Maybe the timing wasn't there. You didn't have the education. You didn't have whatever. But now this is 2020. This is your time to shine. Like I said in that video 2 weeks ago, it's time to stop training and start acting like the trader you wanted to be. You are that trader now. This is a time where wealthy people are going to become fabulously wealthy, and fabulously wealthy people are going to become intolerably wealthy. But poor people lose 50% of the little they have. So I'm trying to get you from here to here, the next step up. Okay? Alexandra, there is no thing of fear of missing out. So you're like, is it almost over? Is the dip almost over? Don't think that way. Just set up your next trade. Okay? It's not too late. It's never too late. Set up the next plan. Do your analysis. Okay? Fear of missing out comes from people with no trade plan. Okay? Okay? Joe says, how can you be so sure in the stock market? Well, this is a different scenario than normal. This is not your normal fundamental analysis of a stock. You're not looking at the executive team. You're not looking at products. You're not looking at business ratios like inventory turnover and all this kind of stuff to create a valuation for a company. Okay? That's not what you're doing. Okay? Here's what a normal analyst does. Okay? Let me know if you know what this is. This is what analysts do. You know what this tells you? The price of Carnival cruises. The expected return of a stock equals the risk-free rate of return plus the beta times the expected return for the market minus the risk-free rate of return. The capital asset pricing model. Okay? E times RS equals RF plus beta times expected RM, right, which is another version of beta, minus the risk-free rate of return. Okay? Do you think that is accurate in times like this? That's called CAPM, Capital Asset Pricing Model. CAPM. So this is where it comes from. They still teach us in business school, which is another sign that business school is retarded. Go ahead and tell your professor that, see what happens. By the way, I've tried. Okay, but here's what they said. A stock pays dividend. Okay, so basically what they're saying is the value of a stock has to do with the future cash flows of dividend payments in terms of market volatility, sort of. There's a bunch of things that go into there, and the assumption of things like your risk-free rate of return, which is kind of like borrowing money, all these different things. But, right, so somebody asked, I forget who it was, what about, like, how can you be so certain about stock? I'm not running Carnival Cruises through a model and spitting out a price, because if I did, it'd probably say 27 because it's looking backwards. Okay, so you got to do a couple of things. The reason it's 8 is the market knows, or the reason it was 8 is the market knows, like, no one's going to get on a cruise and feel comfortable for a while. Okay. So somebody is saying, well, at $8, I'm willing to bet that Carnival Cruise recovers in the next 5 years. You understand? Well, what's going to happen in the next 5 years? Nobody knows. But for $8, it's worth it. And what they're betting on is not Carnival Cruises, but a rising tide. When things calm down, Amazon will go back up. Starbucks will go back up. Disney will go back up. Google will go back up. Carnival Cruises will go back up. Delta Airlines will go back up. And you just need to identify one thing. When are you going to buy? And what are you going to buy? So I guess two things. What and what price? What stock and at what price are you willing to take the risk? Okay? That's it. Let's say I don't know what Starbucks is. I don't know. Okay? I like coffee. I like coffee a lot. Okay? I like coffee. Now, I think Starbucks coffee sucks, and I think many people go there and they basically buy candy and call it coffee, which is horrible in my eyes. But in the last 6 months, it was worth $90. Now it's worth $56. Okay? Cool. So it was 100. Look at this, guys. It was 100, then it dropped to 50. Exactly 50% retracement. By the way, do you think that's a coincidence that it dropped exactly 50% and stopped falling? So right now you can buy it for a 45% discount. What are you going to do, bro? Hey, it could drop all the way down to 21. Yeah, it could do a lot of things. When are you going to buy? But honestly, do you think it dropped from $100 to $50? Look at that 50.02. Do you think that's a coincidence? Okay. You could have bought it at the 2015 price. But the idea is, I don't know the future. I'm not your money manager. I'm not your trader. I don't make these decisions. I'm not your analyst. You got to do your own job here. But I'm trying to wake you up like, dude, you're missing the time of your life if you snore through this. Okay? That's why I'm doing all these extra things. I think about you over the weekend. Do you understand that? I worry about you. Thank you. So we'll just look at Kiwi here. Wah, wah, wah. I think this is the one we had last night as a 50-50. Can't remember. Seems weird to sell off S2. It just seems weird to me. So, yeah. Do I follow dividend yields? No, my wealth management team does that for me. Yeah. Also, the other thing is people pay so much attention to sports and very little attention to their money. I wish people looked at money differently, right? I wish people got together at a cocktail party and talk about the trades they made and how much money and how well they did. For some reason, people don't do that, but they want to talk sports all day. The last time I went to a party with a neighbor, the dude went to Yale, by the way. Can you imagine? So anyways, I'm at his house, and one of his, I guess, friends or coworkers show up. And this guy, I am not joking, talked for the whole 4 hours I was there about the Georgia Bulldogs, the college football team. I'm like, why can't we talk about money and markets like this, right? And so other dudes just stood around. They're like talking about college football. I'm like, I don't care about you, is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not interested at all about anything. Like, it's just funny. Like, wow. So how much money did you make last year? Right? Anyways. So I don't know. It's just, I wish people took money more seriously. Another way of looking at it is you go to Washington, D.C., and there's huge lineups at like the Lincoln Memorial and stuff like that. And then you cross the street to the Fed and there's nobody, not even one person. You're like, this is the Board of Governors building right here, right across the street from the Vietnam Memorial. Right here. Look at this guy. The most important institution in the world. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. I just kind of, strange, isn't it? It's really strange. So I want you to do really well, and I'll tell you why. I have big plans for you. We're going to do some wicked awesome stuff. You're going to be successful as a trader. You're going to have disposable income. We're going to do some cool conferences at amazing places. You're going to meet really cool people that are just like you. We have a lot to accomplish in the next, let's say, 5 years. So this is, honestly, this is your time to step up and build that foundation and, right, and get to the next step. This is it. So I'm right now giving you an extra 40 hours of my life for no additional charge, no additional fee. So please join swing.fxbootcamp.com, because that way you and I can be together 3 times a day, not just 1 time a day. That covers day trading in the Asian session, swing trading on Thursdays, a hangout group at 11 a.m. at London close, just to be together and for me to be available in case you have questions. Okay? The day trading course is included at no extra charge. The swing trading course is included at no extra charge. It's the same price that it was 6 months ago when I was offering you 1 hour a week. Okay? 4 hours a month, and now I'm offering you 40 hours a month of personal one-on some time with me, and hours 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 of training videos at no extra cost. I don't know what more I could possibly do, but I want you to join, so at least it makes me feel comfortable that you're not going to miss this. Okay? The most important thing, Alexandra, if you're just learning, is take notes. Just take notes. Watch the videos 15 times. Come to the meetings. Take notes. Practice on a demo. Practice very specific things. But you'll have, right? You'll have a support group. Many of the people in the swing trading group have been in the swing trading group for years and have known me for over a decade. That should speak volumes right then and there. Okay? Swing.fxbootcamp.com. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, this afternoon is oil inventories. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oil inventories. Watch that crude oil. Right? Marie, you know what I did last night? I accidentally deleted it. My eyes are so blurry. I added a new section to put the day trading webinars under that section. So I added the new section, but my eyes are all blurry. I'm so tired. And I thought when they added it, here's my thought, like, oh, when I added it, the system adds temporary demo lessons. So I'm like, delete, delete, delete. And then I added a new one, and I added the video from last night's Asia session. And then I realized, and I'm clearing my eyes, I'm like, oh no, I actually deleted the course. And I don't know where the thing I added went, but whatever. Obviously I was that tired and I deleted the course. So now today, I guess now what I'm going to do is go back, re-add the day trading course, re-add the videos, recreate everything and put it there. Right? So like, but this is the effort I'm giving you. This is the effort where I'm so tired at the end of the day by giving you so much. I can't even read. I can't even cognitively function. So I'm giving you a hundo P. So jump in while you can, guys. This is not going to last forever. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you, Traders Way. Thank you, Traders Way. Okay, make sure that they know you appreciate them, okay? Make sure they know you appreciate the support they are providing for you. What time is the next meeting? It's in 2 hours.